and power, everybody. We are back. Um, Shout out to everybody that has been following along in the book. Me and Mr. Butts are here tonight to review the book with you, the chapters that we read. And so this is what it looks like. I tried to quit on y'all, but Mr. Butts said no way, Jose. Mr. Butts, how you doing?
I am well, Miss Pitts. Thank you so much for facilitating tonight. Sure do appreciate you being awake with us.
I'm feeling really submissive in my spirit to the men around me. So I'm working on listening and really, taking the submissive role in it.
Okay.
I'm like,
well, that's refreshing.
Yes, I need to remember that I have to operate from wetness. I keep forgetting. It takes 7 times. So maybe I should make it a mantra in the mirror in the morning.
You should.
Okay, y'all.
I agree with you.
You agree with me? Well, thank you.
And I know we're gonna get into the book, but I want to say this because you talk about you say that, and yes, I'm an old man, and I've had my fair share of relationships. Sure, I've also done my fair share of counseling. Absolutely. Hundreds of women. But I want to say this, that about submissiveness, there is way more power in submission to the right person when you are your person's person and your person is your person. There's truly a power to be had in maintaining submission. It's a thing that encourages a man, a openly submissive woman who is genuinely doing it because she wants to do it, just because she wants to do it, and feels that that's her role in the relationship. Doesn't have to think about ways to manipulate her person. Doesn't have to beg and plead for anything that male who is her person could provide for her. He will openly do that willingly. He will look for new ways to put a smile on his submissive wife or woman's place.
Okay.
And I have observed that in those dynamic relationships, those dyadic relationships, that there's just such a power to be wielded by women that they actually have to be careful. So both of you have to be the right person for each other. So I want to say that as a man to all those women that really think that there's weakness in being submissive, you are absolutely wrong. Just try it.
Well, I mean, me personally, that thankfully was a given for me because I did watch a lot of marriage shows and movies growing up. I had temporary instances of, well, I'm gonna say one, my stepdad. I had my stepdad also in the house, and he was a provider. That's why I say sometimes you'll meet people and they try to project on you, but when you grow up in a certain environment, then you don't have to manipulate anyway because it's a giving. My stepdad was great. When I say awesome, I can't say it enough. May he rest.
Okay, I'm all alone again. Miss Pitts has
my daddy like, what? Calm down.
There you go.
Rest in power, daddy. But yeah, he was great. His family participated, and so just seeing that growing up, I've never had a problem with submissiveness. It was just, for me, I'm only.
Uh-oh. I guess we're going to have to start diving into the book.
It's getting juicy.
Yeah, your conversation's too hot for the mic.
Listen, and y'all don't. We on here. This is extracurricular, so we're gonna take our time since y'all got me here because I tried to counsel, and we're gonna kick it because that's what me and Mr. Butts do, and we're gonna talk this thing through because he just dropped some gems for all the ladies out there. If you heard that first part, and then for me, I was just saying my experience with it. I've seen you get more you got to use the honey side of it. And I guess that's still operating from witness. It's a given, like you said, for your person. My ex-husband, he didn't have to tell me to be submissive. You know what I'm saying? It's just to the men that move like they deserve submissiveness. That's who we're reserving it for. It's a small, close, because it's not everybody. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so, men with a certain aura, you're naturally gonna submit. But I'm learning for the men in my life that are supportive of me, to be a little more open and receptive, for one, and then even operating in submissiveness with them because it's all for my greater good. Mr. Butts wasn't just trying to boss me around to get me on here tonight after I canceled. It was because he's operating in my higher good. And so he simply said, you agreed.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
Where is this other audio coming from?
Do you have 2 tabs open of YouTube? Hold on, let me check me. I don't. Maybe you can hear the background.
Okay, I turned a couple of things off, so I think I got it.
Okay.
Oh,
you all.
I've been working. I had 30 tabs open, so I scrolled across something or another. But anyway, hey, let's dive in. The book is The Holy Grail of Orgasm. Hope we got a couple of people here joining us. I can't see that. So just a reminder that what did I say? What did I say the phrase was going to be today? What's the phrase?
Let me find it. Well, I will have to watch the video. What was the phrase?
She's gonna find the phrase. I'm gonna jump right into chapter 1, and it's chapter 1 of Master Yawan Morris's The Holy Grail of Orgasm. And honestly, in the review, our summary here today, I really want to make sure that we get through some of the foundational things, but to say, hey, this is a strange book to be reading, but it can certainly be enlightening. That the system of it's talking about how to get to the high level orgasm, and we learned in chapter 1 that there are three types of orgasms that can be had by humans, and that's the first one is the simplest one to achieve, and that is the juvenile level orgasm. And it basically is nothing more than, whether it's a feminine or a masculine ejaculation of liquids. And that's kind of where we would call the juvenile. It can tend to be somewhat unsatisfactory in comparison to adult or high-level orgasms, in Master Morris's opinion, because it falls a little far beneath the minimal levels of energy that's released compared to adult and or high-level orgasms. So that's your juvenile orgasm. Your adult orgasm is a bit more organic, and as Master Morris says, in other words, it achieves more of the natural sexual cycle and involves a greater portion of the body in the process, and offers psychological, emotional, and neurological benefits that go beyond the pleasure given. So, your juvenile, something's coming out, and you're basking in the moment and enjoying it and breathing hard, but that's all it is.
It's
That's
short
pretty much
lived. It's short lived.
it's short lived. It's very temporal. The adult level orgasm, by comparison, is a bit more intense and involves some more emotion, some more energy. And we talk about energy. We're talking about chakra energy, the seven chakras. So incorporation, maybe not of all seven, but some of them, and you're going to feel some movement and maybe even some connection between chakras between the two people, but not the highest of intensity that can be achieved. And then we have the holy grail of orgasms, the high level orgasm. And that is when you combine all four of your bodies together, and there's a DMT release, and there's the crashing of cymbals, and there's stars that'll be seen, there's legs are shaking, and there's bodies quaking, and but it definitely incorporates the light body, energy body, cell body, and the etheric body, so your physical body, that one that pretty much we move around every day in the quantum field. So chapter 1 kind of really just introduced us to the three different types of orgasms, as well as the four bodies that make up the human beings. And again, I'm just going to reiterate that your etheric body, your light body, your energy body, and your cell body. So
Okay, so for me, and I wanna we're gonna do the chapters together.
mhm.
Um, your word was use your Venus grip.
Okay, so for anybody that's watching during the live, and what are we doing? What are we doing? 45 minutes, hour? What are we doing?
Yeah,
We won't
hour.
be on more than an hour while we go through these. Just summarize these 8. So, but if you are on during our 45 minutes to an hour, as we go through this summary of the first 8 chapters that we've read, and you type to me, Jamal M. Butts, my name's on the screen. You type into me on Messenger, um, use your Venus grip, then I'm gonna grace you with a book if you don't have it. And if you actually already have the Holy Grail of orgasms, then I'll get you one of the other books, either the masculine or the feminine. Um, but there you go. Use your Venus grip. What I say, Miss Pitts? What I say?
Use your Venus grip.
Venus grip. So use your fingers to type in use your Venus grip as you send me a message on Messenger, Facebook Messenger, and you could be the one that receives a book this week. Now,
Okay.
back to the juice
So,
of first. What do you got to say, Miss Pitts?
first chapter. I like more descriptive detail. So I would say that the juvenile is, of course, like you said, the panting, breathing hard, then boom, short lived.
Mm-hmm.
The adult level is a little more than just panting. I would say that some of your chakras are activated, just not as many.
Mm-hmm.
Because just with some people, they don't know none of this. They can bring some of that stuff online. That's why I say it's very important that you very vocal in your after dark life. Okay. And then so the high level is the controlled breathing. Because when you breathing too fast and wrong, it's gonna come fast and short lived. But if you practice controlling your breathing, being very intentional about that, every movement, be intentional with it. Allow your heart chakra to open. And it will feel like electricity is running through your body. You can tell that more than one body has engaged. It'll feel like electricity. And it won't just be boom and gone. It'll be a buzz. And sometimes that buzz can last for 2 days. Hey,
Yeah.
listen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's I just because the description is everything. But the bodies that Mr. Butts was talking about was the quantum field body, which is the etheric body, the light body, the energy body, and the cell body. And I'm telling you, that cell body, man, that's where you want to be. That's where you want to be.
Well, actually, where we want to be is we want to alchemize all four of them at the same time, and we want to co-join with our partner along that same level at that same time. And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but we're gonna explain why the alchemization of all four bodies at the same time is important. Was there anything else in the first chapter you wanted to point out?
Well, no, I just didn't want you to get too far down the line and I have to go all the way back. So, well,
No.
okay.
I was just moving along, because you disappeared on us again.
Child, it's talking about my internet. I gotta keep hitting the thing. Okay, so yeah, what's next? What's on the next?
Chapter 2, the potential of sexual orgasm. So here we go. The potential between polarities. And in chapter 2, it kind of explained that the feminine energy, the feminine and the masculine operate from two different poles. And we talked about kind of like the two sides of a magnet. And, when you get the opposites, when you put the two opposite sides together, things start to happen. I don't know if any of you ever played with magnets, and you can kind of, if you got the right side to it, you can actually manipulate the other magnet by pushing it away if you have the same side, and you can attract it to you if you have the opposite side. And so we talk about the alchemization of all four of our bodies individually, and then the male doing his thing with his four, and the woman doing her thing with her four, and then they're coming together, whether it be through manual manipulation, hands-on, or oral manipulation, mouth on, or the insertion or the penis, the shaft of your penis into the vaginal canal, where you use your grip.
So funny.
It starts to do something. Then there's a combined alchemization, and as Ms. Pitts spoke of, there's an electrical field that will be generated when your four, her four, all eight are operating all in alignment at the same time in a quest to achieve a high level orgasm. So that's what this chapter is talking about, exploring the potential. Ms. Pitts, commentary, description, what you got?
I got you. I got you. I'm coming. Okay. So for right here, y'all just gonna let me talk y'all through it. So for me, I always give the description to myself because I have to remind myself sometimes. Me being a hold on, y'all finna get this link. Me being a manifestor generator, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, just go look it up. You can look up yours. I respond, right? And so to me, that's the feminine. And I always give the example of a wall socket because it's like the wall socket isn't going around searching for things to plug into it. You know what I'm saying? And right. So with that being said, you want to stay in receptive mode. You're not, and sometimes as women, you start pursuing and chasing just because Okay. You might start.
Just because.
It's very annoying. You might start chasing because you just might want company. You can call it codependency. You can be an interdependent person, whatever. You want to stay in that feminine. The wall socket is feminine, so what's for it will naturally be plugged into it, and that's what electricity happens in resting, not in pursuing or chasing or forcing. I tell people just stay in flow. So in how that's related to this is I think that the bedroom is the place where both people submit, and then the natural order of things can happen. Because if you're in submissive mode, you're gonna, and that's where the pole come in, the polarities.
Right.
Opposites attract. You know what I'm saying? Just like that, get it in there, and then you have to use your inward mechanisms to massage, and even the penis throbs. You get what I'm saying? So y'all get that energy going. There's some throbbing. There's some gripping. You just have to be a little more intentional, though, not just thinking your 5 seconds of glory. You gotta stretch it out.
Glory.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I have to share about that. Let me look at my highlights though, because sometimes it be something.
Yeah.
But yeah, chapter 2. Also, it explained how men become more electric. It said that part of the answer lies in the properties of the physical cell body, and part of the answer is a portion of his energy body called his auric field. And so this is not just for men, it's for men and women. It says that women conduct better than men as they have higher water content. But just overall, you achieve this by, of course, not eating whatever it is you feel like you should eat, but just being more intentional about what you put in your body and making sure most of that is producing electricity, not things that are going to render your blood and your cells and the water in your body stagnant like a bunch of starches. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, well, you going to say something else about chapter 2, or you done with it?
No, I think we reiterate that. We talked about you talked about the
okay, I want to say one more thing. So it says that women conduct better than men as they have a higher water content, and then it says that also some blood types conduct better. So you have to keep all that in mind. I have always had the belief. Listen, y'all, stuff be coming to me, and I don't even know why, but now I know why. It's all coming. I've always believed that you're not supposed to be just randomly sleeping with every blood type and procreating with any old blood type. I've always had that belief. Like, for me, I'm original, and so the goal would be to make more originals. Because if not, it'll be watered down. And then I do think that that has something to do with the cell and amount of electricity that can go. Because if you from the earth, some people ain't. We got to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? So the people that are from the earth, that's why the grounding and all that matters. Making sure you ground, that's intentional. And then when you with your person, you don't have all that negative energy stored within you because you have not taken your shoes off in 5 years. It's like, these are little things. But yeah, that's all for chapter 2, I think.
Okay. So it also, two more important points I just want to make before we move on.
Okay.
Chapter 2 is also where we learned that there were stages to getting to that high level orgasm as far as our energy bodies or our chakras are concerned, and the various stages. So in stage 1, the heart chakra is involved, and in stage 2, your throat chakra becomes involved. In stage 3, your brow chakra, and then your crown chakra. So there's a order of things. There's a method to the madness, and so that's why we talk about being intentional. It's not just take your clothes off and you put this into that. It's more to it than that. If you are one of those that are seeking a high level orgasm. So chapter 2 also educated us on the general proximity of the female G spot. That's where we learned that, it is just a few inches up into the vaginal cavity, and then usually either just barely off to the left or off to the right from center. So so we got a little anatomy lesson there in chapter 2 as
Okay.
well.
So for chapter 2, I had some more stuff highlighted, so I'm just going over it. But
Okay.
when you say that, it makes me think about how yeah, this is juicy. This is why the review is juicy. It makes me think about like how when you as a man, but me as a woman, if something is inserted at a certain point, even if in the beginning it was like there's a certain point that it gets to, and it's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh. And so it is not at the entrance, it is on in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just thinking, like, people are missing a mark because you'll go past that point and just never revisit the whole session. And it's there. It's noticeable because you can feel it very well when you are inserting. Well, or being inserted into. I don't know how
to your point earlier, that's why you say communication is extremely important. Some audible, and I know some women are hung up on, well, I shouldn't have to teach him. I shouldn't have to tell him where to go. Hey, look, you are not your sister. You are not your mama. You are not your auntie. No matter how much you look alike, your bodies can be different.
Right.
Are going to be different. Yeah, right. maybe yours is at 11 o'clock, but the woman standing next to you, hers is at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things we went through in here. There's a general area that you can expect it to be in, but it does take some experimentation and thinking about that. Like you said, it is in, it is up, but it's not very far. They say 2.5 to 4 inches on average. I'm just saying average. So I just want to say, so that should, for all of you men that don't think you have enough, because it's only 3 or 4 inches, according to Master Morris and the mapping of the G spot, you don't need much more than that in order to get it. And we should really know that. Well, any of us that have had a little bit of experience, just a little bit, should know that to be true, because which of us has 10-inch fingers? I don't know nobody with no 10-inch fingers. 5-6 inch fingers, maybe if you 7-footer, okay, maybe that's the thing. But we all know that whether you are a man that has inserted your hopefully very clean and sanitary fingers into a woman,
please,
or a woman that has inserted your fingers into yourself, you've been able to hit that spot that made you feel really, really, really good without having to have an apparatus that goes in 9-10 inches.
Baby, so, I don't want nothing 9-10 inches, I'm telling you.
I
just need enough.
Be encouraged, gentlemen, with a little bit of patience and a little bit of communication from the woman that you are with. If you have a small member, you are still well equipped or equipped enough.
For somebody. We're going to add for somebody.
On average, for the average woman. I'm speaking generalities. Don't let, if I don't say that enough, I'm speaking generalities based on what we're learning from our information in our book.
And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to keep it real.
Real.
I'm 5'8". I got a lot of ass. Excuse my language on here. I ain't dealing with no 3-4 inch. I have horse in my sign, so that means you got to be certain all the things. You got to be able to reach up and over. And so, no, I don't want 10, but I still don't want 3 or 4. I'm going to leave that for somebody else. You know, if I was short, maybe that'd hit different, but I'm going to keep it real now. And there's help out there. There's people out there getting extensions. I wouldn't recommend, but people are getting extensions and all the things.
You talk about extension operation or apparatus?
They are getting their shafts cut open and
okay. I mean, because there is an extender that a man can put onto his penis.
Oh,
it's not. I mean, you know
really?
how? Yeah, there's an extent. I mean, your penis goes inside another fake penis, and it can give you a few more inches.
Really?
Without having the operation. If you are interested in pleasing your woman and you don't think you have it because your woman has made the same confession as Miss Pitts about all of the badonkadonk and needing a little bit more because of her horse sign and all of that, horse in her sign, you can go purchase an extender if you love her enough.
No, I'm not accepting extender. No. I'm not accepting extender.
All right. What else you got? You got some other highlights in one. You got some. I mean, two. Two.
I do. Okay. You got something else?
No. I'm ready for 3.
Okay, hold on. Now, he did go over where's the G spot, so I highlighted it. But in here, he also said if the bladder ganglia are energized during stage 4, you know how when you are as a woman, I've been told by one of my high school friends that the best orgasm is when you hold your pee. Shout out to Petey. You see this? Yeah. So sometimes,
no pun intended, huh?
Listen, some women have these secrets, and so I've tried that too. Just you might better hope you don't go. That's it. Now, with that, it is a little more intense than the juvenile one, but it's still not an HLO. And so maybe I just want I highlighted that because of that. And I think I got one more thing. Now it says that and I want to give y'all this because brothers, we gotta pay attention. Looking at a woman from the front, imagine a clock. The tube is located at either 5 minutes or 55 minutes. This is what Brother Butts was talking about. In other words, it is about 5 degrees from the top center point in a teen girl. This tube, now, for grown women, 5 to 10. You got to remember that. But in a teen girl, this tube extends down into the vagina very easily, which is one reason why young females can often experience such intense levels of orgasms. So if your orgasm has fizzled out over time,
it's just moved.
Yeah.
So spot just moved.
You said what?
I said your spot just moved a little.
Yeah.
Probably.
And I'm just thinking like, yeah, because well, I wouldn't have a story to go with this because I didn't know about orgasms. I didn't know that was what everybody was going for. Nobody told me that. So Chapter 3,
the design of orgasm. So in this chapter, we began by discussing the 5 steps to high-level orgasm. And those 5 steps are the conservation of sexual energy. That means cut back on your masturbation. Number 2, shift from a unipolar sexual dynamic to a bipolar sexual dynamic. For men, that means combining your prostate orgasm with your shaft orgasm. And we kind of, I think that was like 7 or 8 where we discussed the actual scientific energetic description of that. But that's what that means. when you shift from unipolar, one pole, to two poles, using both of them. Number 3 is Tantra table work. Number 4 is the Cocoon Project. And then number 5 is that internal natural DMT production from ESR. Yeah, I know you had some notes back there, Miss Fitz. I know you did.
I just want to notate here that one thing on my bucket list is not the DMT, but I do want to experience the shroom experience. And I think that it will work wonderful with these, because with that form of medicine, you see colors very vivid. So I can only imagine everything else, very vivid, very vivid.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I would like to experience. But about the DMT, no, I mean, because I've never tried it.
And we talked about there being a natural DMT that we're talking about releasing a natural DMT, producing right. And releasing a natural DMT in the brain during a high level orgasm, as opposed to the DMT that is the let's just say the compound, the effective compound that you can find in something like mushrooms.
So
you can't produce it yourself.
So this is true, because I can say I've had one that was like reality altering. Not a long time, but yeah. So I approve this message. I'm trying to put it all together in my mind, because I'm a visual, and so I have to go back to moments to pull from. But in reality, there are people, and I'm here to tell you, there are people out there. If, let's say, for instance, their blood type is the same, the cellular journey is the same, you both are fasting, you both are trying to eat better, just all the things are there. There's somebody that'll bring DMT out of you. That is just deep. It's like, sign me up for 2. Yes. Yes.
Sign 2 doses. You want the IV?
Yes.
The IV, the DMT IV. Okay. So the DMT is further down the line, but we talk about the description of I gave you the description of the male incorporation of the bipolar as opposed to unipolar orgasm, where you get it from both the prostate and the shaft. And so and I just want to maybe, I don't know, because I mean, I've experienced it outside of HLO, but men, if you've ever had a pulsating in your gonad region, your balls, but nothing came out the shaft, I think you call it a dry ejaculation, but it's not an actual ejaculation. It is an orgasm that takes place in the prostate area, the prostate region. So there is nothing to secrete out of the shaft of the penis. So we want you to enjoy both, but it feels good. So the goal is to be able to be at such a high level when you orgasm that you achieve both at the same damn time.
That sounds very powerful.
We know that some women say, well, I don't orgasm from penetration. I have to have clitoral stimulation. And then there's those that say, well, clitoral stimulation does nothing for me. I got to have that. I was about to be a little crass. I have to be inserted. I have to be penetrated in order to achieve orgasm. And again, once again, we're not even talking about high level orgasm. We're talking about a physical orgasm achieving it on a bipolar range, where you both achieve it from the clitoral stimulation as well as the penetrated stimulation, maybe up where the G spot is. And well, I'm gonna save that comment for another chapter because we talk about how, for real, you ain't even got to be touched on your clitoris or your shaft to, or your vagina or your shaft to have an orgasm for real. So, but we're gonna know anything else.
Yeah.
So we talked about the alignment. We talked about the DMT. We talked about being healthier. We talked about abstinence. Kind of retaining yourself back with abstinence. Do a little meditation, some yoga, some qigong, tai chi a little bit to be healthier. So we are talking about being as healthy as you possibly can be. Both of you is a precursor to getting to high level orgasm. Ms. Pitts?
Yes. So I highlighted the cocoon phase. So it says while in the cocoon phase, she releases her pain body and embraces her pleasure body. Listen, if you have the ability to 100% check out and go into a cocoon phase, meaning you just not even there no more. You're in the vibration of what's going on. And then when you coming out of it, it said that's when the female experiences the internal DMT production. And then what follows that is like a full body orgasm. And can you imagine your partner also just from that energy is doing the same thing on the different pole on the opposite end? Okay. Yeah, I highlighted that. Let me make sure nothing else is okay. So
literally a different pole, because we're talking about the masculine polarity is different or opposite of the feminine polarity. And the coming together of those opposite polarities is what creates what Ms. Pitts described as electricity.
Right. And then he even go on further in this chapter to explain that he suspected that it was dopamine that was the precursor to the DMT in the ritual, but it turned out it was melanin all the time. So just being able to produce melanin, that's how you see, that's why I say you can tell couples that have good tantric style interactions is because their skin is glowing, they're buzzing around each other. They just that couple that just stays in love. They've been together 40 years and just still getting it in.
Yeah.
They're aging in reverse. They're aging in reverse.
Aging in reverse. Yeah, you keep saying that.
Yeah. And so the last thing I highlighted was when he said the bottom line here is that in order for a high level orgasm to take place, the woman or the man needs to be at a certain specific point in their spiritual evolution. So this is not just physical.
Hence the title, The Holy Grail.
Right. It's like, this is very spiritual. Everybody should have a level of spiritual sex. My, I'm going to say, somebody said to me, I mean, don't you deserve mind-blowing sex? And I had to ponder that because I was a little prude. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all in my head the whole time and just, yeah. And so I thought about it. Now as an adult, this was years ago when I was a youngster. Let me take that back. Somebody said that to me recently, but when I was younger, I was a little, probably wasn't doing too much. I ain't have to either. I'm gonna be honest, I ain't have to, but I still used to hear all the stories at ladies' nights, and so just curious, not really acting.
You scared your mama watching.
You said what?
I said, I think you modified that because you think your mama watching.
Oh no.
You want to know the okay, no.
I'm like, everybody who know me know, baby, I'm trying to teach you, mama and all. This is gonna help you. But no, I just that clarify because it did come to me recently. It's like I thought about it. It's like, yeah, I do deserve mind blowing sex. all the time for my partner.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Because everybody know when you get with somebody you've been there for years, it's going to become routine after a while.
Without intention, yes.
Without intention. So you have to be intentional and also make sure that your partner does not mind experimenting. And everybody's like all hands on. If you let that die, then the relationship is short to follow. Okay? Unless you're just going to stay and suffer. Some people self-sacrifice. Chapter 4.
Chapter 4. The house of the man and the house of the woman. Now, go back and look at some of our previous, go back and look at the 4th chapter. Actually, we did that. It's the 2nd. It was going to be it's the 3rd.
What?
When did we did, was that the first time we did 2 chapters in a row?
Probably. Let me look.
But anyway, you really ought to go back and see, because what you want to see the visual of what was discussed in chapter 4. We talked about the house of the man and the house of the woman, and we broke it down. Again, there could be thousands of attributes and values that make up all of these, and very few people are only one at any particular point in their life. A lot of times they've alchemized multiple pieces of the various 4 houses. For the men, it's the names of the 4 houses are the warrior, the eagle, the healer, and the hunter. And for the women, it's the moon, the elegant rose, the seated hawk, and the treasure chest. And each one has, on average, about 4 or 5 different values within them that are listed. And we talk about how we should intentionally seek to complete a house in order to be firmly entrenched in who we are and what we are before we start to share that energy in seeking a high-level orgasm. What do you got?
So you said that we should be trying to at least measure up to, because in the first 2 books, the Awakening the Masculine Feminine and Awakening Masculine, he spoke about people who do have, let's say, 2 or more houses activated at once. And so, yes, you want to be operating in a balanced way. And I use this as like the 4 seasons. There's 4 seasons. And so everything has its time. And so you do want all 4, but even if you have 3 or 2 only, and you're aware and intentional, then you can work on it. Your partner might have the same thing going on, and if y'all both are intentional with each other and healing the parts that's not there, bringing them back online, then that's even more powerful. There in the books, he did express it's only a handful of people that has all 4 online. And we spoke about it's very familiar. The warrior, the eagle, the healer, and the hunter. That's the house of man. And then you had the moon, the seated hawk, the elegant rose, and the treasure chest. And that's for women. And so just become more intentional. Like, operate from a place of awareness and knowing, hey, I might be a little rough right here. Let me work on this. Me personally, I would say the seated hawk and the treasure chest are my, well, I'll take that back. Who am I fooling? The moon and the treasure chest might be something that, the elegant rose might be something that I'm lacking. And so what I do, how I work on my elegant rose is when I go out, I intentionally wear dresses more so than pants. Sometimes I might pull out a jumper. It's cool, but I know that in that dress, I'm going to be a little more sensual. I'm going to be a little more cautious with how I'm sitting. You get what I'm saying? Like, boom, boom, boom. And so just we put the slide and the actual slides on the video. What I'm going to do is take them out of my phone and I will post them to the community section on YouTube, so they'll be there as we go along. You can refer back to those. But yeah.
Cool.
So you were saying that you believe that you should have more of them online before interacting with somebody else?
I acknowledge that more often than not, the average person is going to have pieces of multiples accidentally.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are intentionally working on who you are, and I'm not just talking about from a sexual standpoint, I'm talking about from a life standpoint. There is one house that will dominate. There should be one house that dominates all of the others and will be more complete.
Mm-hmm.
Once you recognize that, because you're doing it intentionally, you can look at some of the other attributes and values that are prescribed to that, and perhaps seek to complete the house
Mm-hmm.
in order to have that particular pillar strong before you start to engage and share too strongly. Yes, I did say that. Yes, I did.
Too
If you are
strongly.
with the person, I don't want to leave out that I do agree that if you are with a person that is on a journey as well, and that you all are communicating and you're self-evaluating and evaluating one another openly, vulnerably, then there will be some ebb and tide that will create that balance, not only within you, but also within the other person. Because, sometimes we can't see the forest for the tree. We don't see
Absolutely.
ourselves. We kind of misdiagnose ourselves sometimes when we're looking for problems. So, sometimes we turn a blind eye, and sometimes we love ourselves so much it hides a multitude of our very faults.
Listen, you took the words out of my mouth. I was just thinking sometimes you'll be with a partner and they can see the splinter in your eye, but then they got a boulder hanging out their own eye. Some people think that they have all four online, and they really working with 2.5 because they won't even look at the chart. You know what I'm saying? They too perfect to look at the actual chart, and so you just never know. Me personally, I always am honest. I tell people when I'm dating, I don't come like I'm healed. No, I'm not. I'm never like I'm healed. Because then they'll have you on this pedestal, and then when you fall, they like scrape the ground. No, don't put me on a pedestal. I still have triggers. Healing is a lifelong journey. As you know, I might be healed from one thing, and it's another thing I'm still healing through. So that's why I say, you don't want to look for perfection in people because we're all imperfect. But
absolutely. And then at the very end of 4, we got an introduction into Tantra. And if you didn't have any more notes, then we can dive right into 5.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was trying to get my hangnail off. I wasn't biting my nails.
I was wondering what you. I thought it looked like you had some scissors, and I'm like, she ain't got nothing. She ain't got nothing in the other hand. What is she cutting?
I was trying to get it off, but they just made it worse. So I don't have anything else highlighted. It's probably because I don't know. But chapter 5. Let's move forward.
The art and science of Tantra. Like I said, we had a little introduction in 4, but now we get live and in person. But we talk about not only the philosophical, but the real active art and the science of Tantra, and its origins in Peru and Russia and China, its difficulties in the West, and how they tried to beat it down, beat it back, and such. But as more people became enlightened and familiar with Eastern medicines and the benefits of Eastern medicines and modalities, there became an influx of tantra workers, and so now we've got plenty of schools of them. And so I just want to read the definition of tantra is it's programmed into our genes through DNA, are attributes for all natural human behaviors. These behaviors include relationship dynamics, our sexual attributes, functions, and cycles. These are superior to man-made and artificially created behavior. So, it is a more naturally and organic guide, and was a word I'm looking for. It's a more honest form of communication because the art and science of Tantra does not take into consideration any of the hangups that the world tells us or brainwashed us that we should have about anything, whether it be the physicality of what is aesthetically pleasing or not. Its very requirement is that you not only be vulnerable, but you be accepting of the other party as well as you get on that journey to alchemize all four of your bodies, as we spoke of doing back in chapter 2, so that you can achieve this high level orgasm. So the third stage is Tantra. Miss Pitts, your notes.
Okay, so of course. So Brother Butts went over the chapter 5 summary, which was about the art of science. And of course, I love Tantra, been into it, researching it for a few years now. And so this is what I say, this would be the breathing part of your activities, controlled breathing, learning to breathe more intentionally. Erica Badu shared that none of us are walking around here breathing properly all day long. And so your body is not purging properly of waste if you're not breathing properly. And so that goes into your lymph system. We're going all the way down to the cellular health. When you're breathing properly, your lymph, which is the biggest organ on your body, your skin, it's able to push toxins out. And so want to get that, and especially during moments of being submissive. And this will be, I say to a tantra, good, and this is just my tantra, okay? This is a good time to be reprogramming. If you are,
I like that. Yes, I like
audio, then you will have your partner in your ear speaking healing things, not just moaning and weird. This tantra, the breath is the life. And so this part here, you can make way more powerful, being way more intentional. And so the science of Tantra is the science of activating or awakening these higher sexual attributes and behaviors from their dormant state in the DNA. So you're going all the way in. We still talking cells, all the way into that DNA. And then it says we do not learn Tantra so much, we activate it. That's why I say this is a great time to program in new things, to get rid of all the old people harm that has built up. You know what I'm saying? So that's why your partner is very important and it has to be intentional. Then I went into open chapter 5. A man or woman can use their energy body to have an effect or influence over the body of a member of the opposite sex. Still going into that energy. And that's why I say with the right men, you'll naturally submit. Their energy won't have it no other way. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's it. That's how what you right now. Some men have that effect. And so this can be felt on a cellular level. When I date and I come across that type of energy, you can't do nothing but milk. What you gonna do? You gotta melt. You gotta melt. And so then I went into when he was talking about the genital reflex map, which we also shared on YouTube in the community section, and how for the female, it's the vagina, the uterus, the cervix, the clitoris, the anal canal, and breasts. That will be all of the areas. And then for a male, it would be the sac, the testes, the penis shaft, the rim, the prostate, the breast, and anal canal. And so this thing is because for me, you have those men out there that don't want their nipples sucked because they know it'll make them melt. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you too macho. That's out. That's played. Open up. Be receptive. You might like it. How will you ever know?
And that's where, again, like, I got to keep reiterating, you do these things with intention. You have conversation with a person that you trust enough to be vulnerable with. Now, let's keep it real. Why would you lay down with somebody you don't have any trust built up in? And if you have made the decision, willfully and intentionally, using your own ability to make free choice, to lay down with the person for the purpose of sexual gratification, you've already demonstrated some implicit trust on both sides, and you've already demonstrated some form of submission. So don't put the horse back in the barn just because they stroked one area or another that you're not totally comfortable with. Step out. Continue to be vulnerable. Continue to seek out the greatest form of pleasure that you possibly can in the quest to achieve your high-level orgasm. And it's going to take a little PSA again. If you're still with us, it's still a chance for you to be the first one to type into my personal messenger, Jamal M. Butts, on my Facebook Messenger. Type into me. I don't forgot what it is, Miss Pitts. What is it?
Use your Venus grip. Let me put it up.
Use your Venus grip. I didn't really forget. I just know it brings her so much pleasure to say it.
Whatever.
But yeah, use your Venus grip to me. If you don't have the Holy Grail of Orgasm, the book that we're going through now in the book club, Alchemical Changes, I will buy it for you, ship it out to you. Just hit me up and use your Venus grip.
Hold on, let me put it up here.
Continuing in 5, what else you got, Miss Pitts? You got something else in 5? Some other commentary, some notes?
No, you can go ahead to 6.
Okay. Let's jump on into 6, the mechanics of energy projection. Here we dive into some case studies of Tantra work, and primarily just talking about really the heart of Tantra work and the need for people to learn the techniques properly and use a certain order, do things in a certain order, and to avoid doing certain things if you are not skilled in that particular area, so that you don't do some harm. Now, I say harm, and I know in this particular chapter, we discussed how Master Morris was teaching one of his students, and he had him doing some Tantra work, and he had told him, don't use the heart. Don't go to the heart. Don't do it. And what this gentleman do, because of his upbringing, because it was the most comfortable phase for him, the most comfortable chakra for him to employ, he did that very thing to a woman on his table who had suffered quite a bit of trauma on her own, and he was able to get her to release. Now, he did not get her to orgasm, which was the goal for her, but she, felt completely healed in regard to this particular trauma that had her heart really locked up. But there were some other women in the room that they felt what was going on so much that they had orgasms. Did I describe it correctly, Miss Pitts? Is that what happened?
You did. It was an orgy without touching. Okay.
Without touching.
Mm-hmm.
Both to have that
So
skill.
that's wild.
Yeah.
um.
Yeah.
So
So
was that all that you was gonna say about chapter 5? I mean chapter 6.
no, I was looking for your commentary if you had something for it, because we still got to talk about the auric penis.
Okay. So this is the only thing I did highlight for this chapter. Projection is the art of expanding one's auric field and causing it to engage with the auric field of the person on the table.
Okay.
And so this reminds me of sometimes um you'll see somebody walk in a room and you can automatically feel their energy. You check them out, they check you out. There's some projection on some level going on because you can feel the energy and you haven't even spoke or introduced yourself yet. And so that's what that put me in mind of. But
yeah, I think the world calls that some kind of sexual chemistry or sexual tension. But again, we know better, as you know, we've gotten through some 8 chapters of this book now, that there's some energy things, there's some things going on an energetic level that most of us are not really cognizant of. And so, we've subscribed to other words, these carnal words, these descriptions in the course of us being brainwashed about sexuality and the puritanical need to be restrictive on a lot of different levels. But when we discuss the mechanics of sexual energy projection, we discover that you can do it with intention and without any particular touch. And one of the case studies that Master Morris was involved in, even himself, was he was allowing a young lady to perform some tantra work on him, and he felt like he had his eyes closed, but he felt like her breasts were touching his face. And he was supposed to have his eyes completely closed for the full session, but he peeked, and lo and behold, she was not even touching him, was not even near him.
right.
But her projection, her energy projection, made him feel like she was actually giving him a Bangkok massage with her breasts all up and down his body. This is the power that we have dormant within our DNA that we are seeking to activate as we seek out high-level orgasms.
Right.
Chapter 7.
Oh, well, hold on. So, there were a couple of parts in here that was very good for me. I spoke in the beginning on your heart chakra because a lot of people are carrying around y'all know I be having stuff on, then I start taking I'm like I can't have too much on for a long time. But just being able, and I'll go back to the story that I shared when we read this chapter, even being around a masculine and him not needing to penetrate you, but you're still able to orgasm. That's a level of projection. And I shared the story about my homegirl. She's like a guy in a way. So she was dealing with this guy, and he just all the ladies dealt with him, but she was dealing with him personally. And so he danced, and a lot of women liked the way he moved. And so I knew of him before she told me she was messing with him because we was from the same area or hung out in the same spots, but never talked to him. And so lo and behold, here he come. And I went to visit. I knew in my mind that I call him a gigolo. I knew in my mind, and my homegirl stopped messing with him because he asked her for some money. And clearly women give him money and he do, I don't know. But in that night particular, it only took for me to feel him on me. And I was wanting to, I didn't understand why anybody was just giving the good away. You just feel it. And for real, it's like he had some level of projection because clearly he usually get his way with all that going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I just decided to get up and leave because I just don't lay behind my homegirls. But overall, it's a powerful thing to be intentional about, being able to project.
Mm-hmm.
And then he mentioned that when the woman orgasm, she was moaning as if her soul were in heaven. Pass the collection plate. There's a whole word. He
All the way
also
to heaven.
she felt euphoric but not orgasmic, and that's what Mr.
Right.
was talking
Mm-hmm.
about. She came but didn't orgasm, so
But her homegirls that was standing on the sideline.
they probably got that. So then we talk about the heart tantrum, and I say this because a lot of times people aren't trying to connect during intercourse, and so you want to have that heart together. And this is mentally, spiritually, physically, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Just so it can be open and you can be open and receptive in the moment. The heart is the pump for life, your life force, your blood. And so you definitely want to go there, and it just makes me think about this boobs, because in the Awakening the Master Feminine, he
Mm-hmm.
spoke of how when you're with the man, he's supposed to tend to your right breast first, and then that relieves all the stress, and then he moves on to the left. It's an order of things.
Mm-hmm.
And so in that, it still puts me in a heart space, because once you feel relieved, if he's going in order, then you can open up your heart chakra a little bit more. And so there were two things. The title was The Heart of Tantra, and then another that said Open the Heart. So he emphasized on the heart a bit much. And then it says it becomes clear that sex is an energy activity more than a physical thing. It is the key to adding a spiritual quality to one's sexual relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Can somebody say, take me higher?
Take me higher.
Listen. And so he did say after that, reading all that, what we just went over, we gave you a brief summary. Go check out the chapter. He said that after that, the reader is now ready to apply.
Oh, she froze. I thought she was pausing, but it actually froze up. Hey, we are at 112. We still got two more chapters we want to get through real quick, so we're going to go over a little bit. But for anybody that's on, I'm still looking at my messenger. If you don't have a book, the Holy Grail of Orgasm by Master Yao and Morris, I want to grace somebody with it. I want to give it to somebody. So if you're following along with this, kind of encourage you to stay with us for the next 14 chapters. But it'll only take about a week for me to get it to you. So if you go to my messenger, Jamal M. Butts, and you put in use your Venus grip, just type me a message from you to me, use your Venus grip. I'll reach back out to you after the show, and then I will connect with you in order to get you a copy of the book as we discuss it. So she was making some final comments on 6, and if she comes back and wants to do that, we will. I'll move on to chapter 7, which explored the importance of semen retention. And I don't know if you remember the various stages, the 5 stages of seeking out high-level orgasm. One of them was to do some semen retention. And so getting to a point of being unilateral as opposed to a bipolar orgasmic male and or female, or male, the semen retention for male, requires that you become in touch with your primary pole, which is actually the prostate. The prostate is actually primary, and the shaft of the penis is actually a secondary polarity. Um, and again, eventually we want to incorporate both, but in learning to do that, we've got to become more intentional about allowing the prostate polarity in order to have an orgasm, so we retain the actual semen and do not ejaculate out of the shaft, but we energetically concentrate on our auric uh, prostate in order to seek out an orgasm on that level. Thus, when we combine that energy that we have stored up from semen retention, along
Okay.
with all of the other elements of it, and your partner has done the same, and she's got the energy stored up too, and you combine the two together, you'll be able to have your orgasms in both the auric field as well as the of your prostate, as well as the shaft of the penis, in form of and demonstrated by ejaculation. Um,
So where are you
so
at now?
that's what 7 was primarily about. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Hold on now. We gotta go back to chapter 6.
Yep, I said
Okay.
we might. Go ahead.
Okay, so my whole computer shut down. Okay. I'm back. We were on chapter 6 talking about the heart chakra. And then he said that it's a energy activity, not a physical. And then he was preparing us for going into HLO, which he still made another subsection about man's heart and woman's heart. So I just want to emphasize the importance that he made in the book on the heart, the area of the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And so the other thing that of course caught my eye was the 4 base petals inside the heart chakra. Energy body, which is combined of fire, which is want and lust and drive, water, which is longing, anxiety, hope, and sex, earth, which is will and fraud and space, and then air, which is competence, incompetence, and persona. And so just making sure that you're aware of the light bodies. And of course it's 3 sections on this, but I always emphasize on how the elements play a part in each
Mm-hmm.
of us.
Mm-mm. So froze up again. Don't know if that means her whole computer is shut down. It looks like it might. She might not like this, but we're going to move on into.
No, wait. We're almost done.
Okay.
Um Also he did say that the virtues, he touched on the 5 virtues. And so
Mm-hmm.
that is love, beauty, devotion, truth, and grace.
Mm-hmm. She's trying. She's trying. The last table in chapter
Okay.
6. Okay,
Well,
go ahead.
I wasn't gonna go over the last chapter. What did you say about chapter 7?
Um, just a description that it was starting to give us more detail about how to go about the semen
Oh, you
retention.
did say the shaft and the prostate and
Yeah, and how one is the prostate is the primary polarity, and the shaft is secondary. And we're seeking to align both of them in the form of a high level orgasm, but in getting to that point, we want to sort of deny the shaft from doing actual ejaculation and focus on using our energies to get the prostate online, which is not the one that we typically seek to have any connection with.
uh-huh.
What do you got? You there?
Um
Still there? Are you moving? Go ahead.
well, I was just closing out some of these damn tabs. I'm over here doing what you was doing. Like, what is
Mm-hmm.
happening? But give me 1 second. Yeah, I got Trade tabs, everything open. Okay. So I don't know why I got 19 tabs open. I was just freeing up some internet space. Clearly is a problem. So
Okay. Did she not free up enough? I don't know.
clearly this stood out to me because of the role of the prostate. I didn't know, what power it had for men. For years, I've heard people talk about it and couples using it and engaging it during intercourse, but this just explained a whole lot on that. If you're into that, ladies, please. Wild, Jamal. I mean, Mr. Butts. Okay. Chapter, were you done with chapter 7?
Yes, I am.
Go ahead. I'm gonna clear some cookies right quick.
Chapter 8, the intermediate steps of high level orgasm. So we're moving further down the line. We've talked about the importance of employing the heart chakra and both on a cellular and an energetic level, as well as utilizing it in our tantra table work. And we've talked about the importance of the semen retention, which is actually the first stage of seeking out a high level orgasm. But then there's some immediate steps to get to the high level orgasm as well. And so then we went through a very, very detailed plan for how we were going to map out the female genitalia, and learned how to do that, to map out the yoni with intention, using not the tip, but the shaft of the penis, and paying attention primarily on the backstroke, which should last some 10 to 12 seconds, Master Morris says in his book, and just learning what portions, where our shaft is, at what angle it is at on the backstroke, where a woman is most pleased. And in that, he suggested paying attention to her breathing, what her lips does, if her tongue is visible, what her eyes do, even to the point of, while you are doing the actual mapping or imprinting, that you ask her to keep her eyes open and look at you continuously. And again, it being intentional. After you do one side of the vagina, map out one side of it, you should stop and take notes. And before going on to mapping out the second portion of it, trying to wait for Miss Pitts to get back so she could help describe the vaginal grip technique, because
Okay,
she's back
right on time. The vaginal grip.
So go through the vaginal grip for them, please.
So the vaginal grip would be you utilizing your, what do they call it?
Vagina, yoni, something.
You don't know?
I said the vagina or the yoni.
But what is the muscle you're using for the grip?
The gripper.
This is men. See, he don't even know. They don't care if you have a grip. No, they do care if you have a grip. I'm lying.
I've said everything. I have. See, I didn't say nothing about the snappy nappy. See, I didn't go there. Did you freeze again? You left us again. She's gone again.
At this point, I'm like a deadbeat bookkeeper over here. It's like I keep running off. But yes, you want to be able to grip. Grip is good. You want to do your kegels. You don't have to have
Mm-hmm.
yoni eggs, but he recommends yoni eggs. And you, if
Mm-hmm.
not,
She said yoni eggs, not 100% necessary, but recommended by Master Morris that you learn how to utilize them so
right.
that you can exercise along with Kegel work. You can be able to do the Venus gripping so you can map the shaft of your partner's penis. There she is. Go ahead. She froze up again. Okay. So we've got our vaginal reflex mac. We've done our yoni eggs and kegels, and the yoni was mapped. Now we're mapping the shaft, and then you operate the map.
And
Okay, there you go.
gripping in the spots that's on the diaphragm that are on the shaft in the bottom of the penis. Gotta hurry up and say it. Gotta hurry up.
And likewise, as you are a female or mapping, you need your partner to look at you. You need to pay attention to how he is breathing, what his eyes are doing, what his mouth and lips are doing, and what he's saying, and ask for some actual communication uh, as you do it.
Right. Very intentional, both parties. And now you're on chapter 8. We are on chapter.
Yeah, we in 8. We're still in 8. That's the last one. She trying to leave again. Mm-hmm. So in tantra work, you can. You're back. I see you.
Yes. You on chapter 8.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
We've both been talking about 8, and because that's where the Venus grip is, and that's where the mapping, the reflexology mapping of both the yoni as well as the penis of a male was talked about. And you want all the details. Look, just go back to our that'll be our 5th, which was the last week session, and we in detail the reading, very detailed reading of how you can create your map. And we also talked about how imprinting is done, and how overcoming imprinting is sometimes very difficult, because women's first 3 sexual experience, or their first 3 partners, leave an actual imprint on them on a cellular level, a DNA level, an energetic level as well. And it takes a lot to overcome, whether it was good, bad, or ugly, from the first 3. And so that's why the book is recommending employing with intention, doing some tantra work, and being really scientific about how you map what feels good to your partner when they are yielding to you in what you are doing. Again, that goes both ways, whether you are the female doing mapping of the penis, or you're a male mapping the yoni or the vagina. Again, yeah, very, very scientific at first, but these are the components that we're putting together in order to be able to complete all 5 stages of the journey to a high level orgasm. And these things will become more and more natural as you practice and employ them once you get them online, so that, anytime that you and your partner do engage intentionally, it won't be as clinical as the reading that we've done describes. It'll be more natural. Miss Pitts?
Right. Did you go ahead to chapter 9 or what?
We have not read chapter 9 yet.
Oh, okay.
That's what we're reading next Sunday. We'll be reading the transition from adult level to high level orgasm. And that will completely describe all 3 sides of what we call the holy triangle of orgasm, which is the tantra, the house of the man, the house of the woman, and the alignment of all 4 bodies. And again, we're trying to alchemize all of these elements together in order to achieve a high level orgasm. You're back.
temporarily. Okay, so yes, that's it. That's all. I reset the computer and all that. Now we at the end, chat. So we have been enjoying this book. We will see you all on Sunday at
She froze. She's saying Sunday at 9 a.m. I know it's Mother's Day, but we're not deviating. We will still keep our 9 to 11 schedule this upcoming Sunday.
yes,
So
mothers need orgasms too. So we are going to full-fledged be here.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So
so
yes, so join us.
Sunday at 9 to 11, book club on Styles by Nina YouTube. Don't forget to go over to Facebook, follow and support Brother Jamal M. Butts. I have his link for his Facebook. I have it in the description box, so you can just click on it and go on over there. And don't forget to DM him. Use your Venus grip. Is that still
That's it. If you're the first one, you're getting the book. I'm gonna get
okay?
you the book.
Okay. All right, y'all. So we just want to do a review. We're gonna go on and get up out of here. We don't went over peace and power, and we out of here.
Namaste.